officials tonight: Pat Adams, Brian Dorsey, and Tommy Morrison. Adai Mara to jump it up with London Jemison, and the winner moves on to the Elite Eight on Sunday. Underway in Chicago, and the Wolverines control the opening tip.
And if we're going to see any zone tonight, it's going to come from Michigan. About 2%. Alabama, 7 possessions all year. Man-to-man strictly.
Inside, Morez Johnson Jr. Working for position, off glass, too strong. The tip by Mara, no. And Alabama comes away with it.
That's a sign early. Michigan is one of the best paint scoring teams in the country. Alabama, one of the worst teams in the country at defending paint points.
Inside, it's Aiden Sherrill. He sends it back out. First three of the night for Alabama is an air ball by Amari Allen. Alabama trying to save it.
Yeah, Amari Allen, he's struggling lately. 2 for his last 21 from the three-point line. The freshman's had a great year this year.
Great play there.
Yeah, great play.
By Jemison, and it's still Alabama basketball with the shot clock at 9. And now a stoppage. And Nate Oates is pointing to the monitor. They're trying to say maybe it hit the rim and the shot clock should reset. And that is exactly what the officials are going to go take a look at. We'll do it as well. Does it touch the rim?
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it went straight down.
We'll be looking at the clock for timing situation.
So good job there by Nate Oates to get his message across to the officials. And now during the official review, both teams will huddle up. You look at Michigan and their road in Buffalo, beating Howard 101-80, and then St. Louis 95-72. See it again. Oh, yeah, in the bottom of the rim. For Michigan, just the third team to score at least 95-plus points and win by 20.
The shot clock will be reset to 19.
In each of their first 2 games. The other 2 to do it, the 99 Duke Blue Devils and North Carolina in 2008.
So the shot clock got reset to 19.
All right, let's play.
Every guy out there for Alabama can make a 3, including their big man, Sherrill. That's going to be a key if him pulling Mara away from the basket.
Sherrill to the basket, and he missed it, and he could not handle the rebound, but last touch by Michigan, so it remains with Alabama.
Yeah, that's one he's got to finish. When you get those opportunities against Michigan, you've got to finish those, because what they do defensively in the paint is impressive all year. You got a guy like Mara, 3rd in the country in block shots.
Near the corner it goes, and now Philon comes to get it.
But let me tell you something, this Michigan team holding people to 39% from the field.
Sherrill battles that one in.
And he's probably the weakest of the three-point shooters, but he can make them. He makes them about 32, 33%.
Lendeborg to the basket, and a tough shot off glass for 2. Big Ten Player of the Year. He had a game-high 25 last weekend against St. Louis.
Such a versatile guy.
Sherrill fakes the 3, drives right in, rejected. Johnson got it, out to Wrightsell. His 3 is good.
They make so many threes on missed threes or balls like that that were blocked outside to the perimeter. You got to get to these guys really quickly if you're Michigan.
Cadeau from the outside, halfway down and out, and taken away by Philon. Philon, transition 3. Off the mark, and Cadeau goes up to get it, and he's fouled on the rebound.
Alabama takes and makes the most transition threes in the country. Michigan's going to have to get back and find these guys.
How about their shot chart from the first 2 games of the NCAA tournament? 3s or in the lane, that's it.
How about this, Andrew? They've only taken 105 shots between the lane and the three-point line all year and made 45 the whole year. Nate Oates, layups, threes.
Foul is on Wrightsell, the first foul of the game. Lendeborg took his eye off it, and a sloppy turnover by Michigan. Coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Sweet 16 continues tomorrow at noon on ABC. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. And the Michigan women are also in the Sweet 16 tomorrow. Sherrill and a foul.
Right now, Alabama's doing a very good job of, and Nate Oates talked about this yesterday, we've got to find a piece of the paint. And right now, there was a switch there. Mara could not stay in front. They're getting into the paint for the first 3 minutes pretty well.
Foul is on Lendeborg, 2.5 minutes in. Here's Allen looking for help. Tough pass. Jemison makes the catch. Jemison inside with the left hand.
They've got the bookend forwards in London Jemison and Amari Allen. Both long, both athletic, can put it on the floor.
Wrightsell, very aggressive defense. Already has the one foul. Alabama everywhere defensively, and a takeaway by Philon.
And they don't force a lot of turnovers, but they know when to go after it.
Wow, they're saying that wasn't up and down, that it was deflected. Michigan fans don't agree.
They are switching 1 through 5 so far to start this game. Michigan plays defense different ways. Right now, deciding to switch 1 through 5.
Shot clock at 5. Philon just outside the lane, it won't go.
You know, Merritt doesn't have to stay that close to him because he's got such long arms and he's so big at 7'3".
Cadeau, a three, again halfway down and out, and taken away by the Tide. Sherrill fires up another three.
He comes into this game having made 26 threes the whole year. He's got 2 now. That's going to open up the floor tremendously for Alabama in this game if he is knocking those out.
8 straight points for the Crimson Tide. Cadeau hanging and finishing. Alabama moving the ball very well offensively. 4 assists on 4 made field goals.
And the thing is, Michigan can't fall asleep because these guys are going to run on made baskets too.
Wrightsell was out of bounds, and a turnover by Alabama takes us to our first timeout. But Alabama is all about the three, and early on, they've got it going. 3 threes in the first 4+ minutes, and they have the early lead. Back in Chicago, you can watch the men's Sweet 16 live on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now to stay up to date on all the action. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Hey, Andrew. Well, Nate Oates and Dusty May are facing off as head coaches for just the second time. But this is a friendship that goes back about 20+ years. It started when May was an assistant at Eastern Michigan, and Oates was the high school coach at Romulus High and had open gyms that started at 6 a.m. And both basketball junkies would meet up at that open gym, and they realized they just loved the game. So they travel together to pro training camps, and it's a friendship that continues to this day. And we talked to both of them about the chess match that this game will provide, and it looks like Nate Oates got round 1, fellas.
Yeah, but how about Lendeborg knocking out that 3 there after 1 pass, and it looked like Alabama was throwing some kind of zone, which for them is a real surprise.
Allen for 3. Can't answer the Lendeborg triple, and the rebound taken by Roddy Gale, who's checked in. Up ahead, Lendeborg, great catch, off glass, and he's fouled. What a throw and catch for Michigan.
That looked like a wide receiver there going up to get one in the air that was up for grabs. I mean, it was not a great pass, but that's just Lendeborg going over Amari Allen there for a great catch. You know, early on, one of the things Nate Oates has to be happy with is his rebounding. His team has 6 second chance points already. Michigan, none.
Watch Anthony Davis prank the biggest names in the sports world on the all-new series Foul Play with Anthony Davis. It premieres April 6th only on TBS.
And now Michigan going, and I thought Dusty May would do this. He takes Mara out and goes to a smaller team where Johnson is now his 5-man, Lendenborg is the 4. So this team has a lot of versatility to it. And Andrew, Dusty May was telling us yesterday that he wasn't sure the big lineup could work when the season started, but he saw how good they were defensively. He was able to stick with it, but he also has the versatility of this small team, too.
A 7-0 run for Michigan in the last 5, scored by Yaxel. Philon attacking. Mara not in there, but he still sends it out. Gale defending Philon. Philon spinning, fakes a shot out to Noah Williamson, who was 3 for 3 from deep in the first 2 games of the NCAA tournament.
And doesn't shoot a lot of threes, doesn't really play a lot during the year.
Philon is whistled for that foul. And Sherrill back on the floor, along with Reitzel. And Morez Johnson will head to the bench, and Mara is back. Sherrill already has 2 threes. That ties his career high. Mara has the touch. And Michigan has tied it at 11.
Shooting 67% on the year. That's why he does have a great touch.
Reitzel step back jumper is there. Latrell Reitzel, who had a team-high 24 in the win over Texas Tech.
So think about this. After a made basket, Reitzel just comes right down and scores.
Gale misfires, and the rebound to Taylor Bowen. We told you right off the top, if you like offense, you came to the right place. Bodies colliding, and a foul is called. And it's going to be an illegal screen called on Taylor Bowen. Michigan basketball as we take a look at winning looks presented by Great Clips.
For Alabama, they've got to get rebounds because this Michigan team kills you on the glass. They got to run as much as they can. Michigan's got to defend that 3-point line. We talked about the record amount of threes Alabama makes and pound the ball in the paint. Much, much bigger and more physical in Alabama.
Trey McKinney has checked in as Elliot Cadeau gets a breather on the Michigan bench.
I'll tell you, this kid doesn't look like a freshman, and he's their best shooter, by the way.
There it is, his 60th 3 of the year. That leads the team, and it gives Michigan its first lead of the night.
6'4", 225-pound freshman.
Reitzel, and before the shot, a foul is called. And actually, they're going to say Reitzel was shooting, so they're going to give Reitzel the 2 free throws.
Yeah, he had stopped his dribble. That's the continuation rule. If you stop your dribble and you take 1 step, it's good if it goes.
Fouls on Roddy Gale. Now Reitzel, an 80% free throw shooter at the line. Jemison and Philon come back in for Nate Oates.
Basically a 7-man rotation for Alabama, but he wanted to get Williamson in early in this game a little bit, let him get a little bit of a feel.
Michigan's heated up from the field, but they turn it over on this possession. 3rd Michigan turnover. Michigan back in the building where they played the Big Ten tournament, losing in the championship game to Purdue. And Axel Lendenborg said they gave us the same locker room as a couple of weeks ago. He said it's got a bad taste, so they had different lockers this time compared to the Big Ten tournament.
Now they changed their defense, Michigan. They didn't switch those crosses that time. That Mara stayed on Sherrill. Maybe that's something that Dusty May saw. Good defense by Philon, but it's tipped right over to Mara.
Mara dribbling and turns it over. Another Wolverine turnover.
Bouncing the ball when you're 7'3" in that kind of traffic, not really advisable.
Right cell will take a three. Long rebound, and going up to get it is Namari Burnett. Michigan has turned it over on back-to-back possessions. Burnett for three. And Lendeborg going for the rebound out of bounds. Last touch by Axel.
Well, this is what Alabama's about. It's making threes. Right now, they got themselves five. They've already taken 9 threes, 3 for 9 in this game so far.
They have missed their last 4 three-point attempts. So after that early flurry, they have cooled off a little bit from the outside, and that's just the way you are if you're Alabama. You're going to live and die with the three.
They made 19 against Texas Tech. They've made over 10, 20 times this year.
Right cell's three, no good, and the rebound to Cadeau, who's back on the floor. With McKinney, 4-3. It's good again. The freshman hits his second triple.
He's had a tremendous season coming off that bench.
Philon trying to answer, and he does. Philon, a 39% three-point shooter.
With him, you cannot go, well, with Alabama in general, you can't go under any kind of a screen.
Cadeau from the outside. Off the front of the rim, and Sherrell grabs the rebound. Once again, Alabama pushing. Here is Jemison for three. Won't go. Mara the rebound and gets it over to McKinney.
Michigan's not afraid to run either, but they are much better against this Alabama team when they go half court and do that.
Mara misses in tight. Philon. And now right cell runner trying to use the glass. Too strong. Out of bounds. And it will be Michigan basketball when we come back.
Well, right now, this is some pace these guys are keeping. Alabama made a couple threes, and they're up one.
Back in Chicago, and a moment ago, Evan caught up with Dusty May.
Coach, in this style of game, what's going to create some separation for your group?
Well, we've got to get it over half court and find some rhythm. We're trying to do a lot as individuals right now.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
No doubt, Michigan right now is a little helter-skelter, and they're only down one. But Alabama, they live to play helter-skelter. Michigan's a team that likes to run, but when they don't have it, they can crush you inside. Right now, they just don't have any rhythm going on the offensive end. But with all that, down 1 point.
Michigan scored 94 points in the paint in their first 2 games. So far tonight, only 4 in the paint.
And that's a huge win for Nate Oates early on in this game, as is the offensive rebounding.
Shot clock at 5. Allen on the wing. Allen defended by Cadeau. Allen is fouled by Cadeau, who got knocked in the face on the way down.
There was a whole lot of physicality going on that play there. There's one bump. There's another one. A lot of bumping going on, and they always talk about the officials calling the first one because that keeps things under control.
Well, Bleacher Report is your one-stop destination for March Madness. Get every moment all tournament long with personalized updates and highlights from your favorite teams. Download the BR app now. Lendeborg comes back in the ball game, and Namari Burnett, the Chicago native, heads to the bench. One more free throw for the freshman, Amari Allen. Already 4 lead changes so far tonight.
Well, here's a stat for you. That's why Michigan has to try to get it in. They love to get it in, and Alabama's defense, 343 in allowing points in the paint. Right now, they've done a great job in this game so far. Not that time, though.
There's a point in the paint. In fact, 2 of them from Michigan. Morez Johnson Jr. throws it down, and on the other end, Amari Allen parts the seas.
If you're not alert in this game, you can't play.
Lendeborg has some space, hits the three.
You know, this guy's proven that he's a really good three-point shooter. 37% on the season. You can't go under the screen and give him that kind of space.
He already has 10 points. Philon trying to answer, and he does. How about the pace to this game? Back and forth we go. Here's a McKinney three, no good. And the long rebound grab by Allen.
Philon has been able to take advantage every time he's got a five-man on him. He had Cheddar on him that last time.
Turnover by Jemison, and then a foul is called on Alabama. But how about the back-to-back triples in our AT&T connected cam?
Well, you take here. This is what Cadeau is so good at. He finds Morris Johnson. They don't get back to the roller to the basket quick enough, and this was just fell asleep in transition defense, which normally Michigan a very good transition defensive team.
I was so confused. I thought it was just going to be another three on a replay, but it was actually dunks. We did have two
dunks.
We have a combined 9 threes though in the first half.
Hey, Alabama makes 13 a game. Michigan makes 9. It's not like they can't shoot.
Cadeau. That three won't go, but Johnson with the offensive board. And then a bad pass, and the turnovers continue for the Wolverines.
You take a look at Johnson and Bo Bowen, who's a good player, transfer from Florida State. The difference in them physically is tremendous, and Bo Bowen was trying to box Morris Johnson out. That's not easy to do.
5 Michigan turnovers in the first 11 minutes.
And, you know, Dusty May talked about we've got to own our defensive glass. Alabama's got 5 offensive rebounds already. Oh, you got to get through those screens.
Philon misses a scramble underneath the basket. Cadeau has it, throws it, and Millette saves it. He's going to pop a corner three. He's got it.
He's only their best shooter by percentage. Philon makes the most. Oh, they fell asleep there.
Mara to Johnson.
I'll tell you, this game here, being awake is a key thing because both teams have fallen asleep. It doesn't take much in transition.
Philon.
What?
Somehow got it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mara and Lendeborg there.
Cadeau trying to feed Johnson. Tough pass. And it'll stay with Michigan. They're going to say that Millette was out of bounds when he touched it.
Millette did a great job defensively here, getting ready, getting back there to help on Johnson. Really good job by Millette.
And it was a short stint on the bench for the freshman McKinney. He's right back out there as McKinney has already scored 6 early points. Cadeau, jumper is good.
Set play. They knew Sherrell's using drop coverage. Mara sets the screen. 15-footer for Cadeau.
He's got 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists here in the first half.
And they're not switching now.
Jemison from the corner. That three's good. Alabama with 7 threes already. Up ahead, Lendeborg makes another tough contested catch. McKinney thought about a 3, and now Michigan will set up.
But that time Alabama did a great job getting back. And look at Sherrell. He's not even guarding Mara. He's way off of him, just standing in the middle of the lane. You got to come off that screen ready to shoot because he's not even coming up on you.
Cadeau tied up inside, and Mara cleans it up. Four points, 4 rebounds for Mara in the early going. Oh, too easy for Philon.
That's a tough matchup for Lendeborg. Lendeborg's a very versatile, a good defender, but Philon just went right by him. Look where Sherrell is. He's letting Mara but nobody's out there to help on those screens.
And Cadeau knocks it out.
That's what's going to happen. If Sherrell stays back there, every time Mara screens, somebody's going to be open for a shot. That was way open. If they're going to back off you like that, Andrew, you got to set a million screens. Wow, this pace of this game is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. We've got 13 threes in the first half. That was the 3rd for Philon. 36-31, Alabama in front. Once again, Sherrell played way off Mara. He's going to dribble in, take the shot. Comes up way short. And that feeds right into Nate Oates' hands. For Alabama, 4 of their last 5 field goals are threes.
And before that, they were 1 for 7. But that's what they do. You can never fall asleep on them from the three-point line. Never.
Bricel bounces it in. Good feed, and Mara with the block. Lindeborg trying to go coast to coast, and he lays it in.
Lindeborg so strong there going to the basket. He was really 1-on-3 and was able to finish that.
He's 4 for 4 in the first half.
You better fight over every screen with Phylon. Every one.
Way overdue for the media timeout. Some of these players very tired. Sherrell takes advantage. Mara is gassed out there right now.
Completely. And Sherrell is just daring him.
And a foul is called on Jemison on the perimeter, and that will take us to the under 8 media timeout. Incredible pace. Bama by 5. We're back. A look at our game summary. Alabama has made 5 of their last 7 from the three-point line, and during that timeout, Evan was able to track down Nate Oates.
Well, Coach, I guess you need some water after that start as well. Bama pace, but what are the priorities defensively?
I mean, we got to get back. We're giving them some easy ones in transition. This team's hard enough to guard, let alone giving them free points in transition. We got to communicate. Reitzel and Phylon don't talk. We give up Cadeau a wide open 3. He hasn't hit one yet, and then you give him a wide open one to get him going. That's not good. So, well, you know, the pace is what we want. But we got to play on the defensive end when we're playing fast. So we got to keep running it on offense. Our offense was great that stretch. Our defense got to get a lot better, though.
They appreciate it.
And we talked about how easy some of those transition plays were for both teams, really, falling asleep. But you're going to see here this three-point shooting. Mara way off Sherrell, who can make those threes. Him making 2 early in the game. And then over here, Morris Johnson just buries Amari Allen there. And Lindeborg is able to knock out that 3. The three-point shooting has been unbelievable in this game. We have 13 for 28, both teams, from the three-point line.
A 5-point Alabama advantage. Lindeborg a dozen early. Gale, the lob, and Johnson wasn't ready for it, but he's able to go hustle and track it down. Shot clock doesn't reset. It's at 3. Gale has to put one up quickly. And it's...
I'll tell you, this kid was a really good player at Ohio State. Has struggled a little bit this year. That was a big play. You know, it's interesting, Andrew. It's going to be interesting to see how effective Mara can be in this game. This might be a tough game for him. The speed that it's being played at.
Offensive rebound, Allen. Phylon will launch again, and he misses his second straight. Lindeborg looking for an outlet. He's got McKinney. Nobody back. McKinney lays it in.
Same thing again. Nate Oates not happy with that. You know, if you're used to playing fast in practice every day, you're used to getting back on defense in practice every day because the other team is running at you.
And a whistle and a foul is called against Michigan. And that's going to go on Elliot Cadeau. Meanwhile, the Michigan fans are upset there wasn't a foul call on the previous lay-in. A lot going on here in Chicago. A 1-point game. Friday night in Chicago, we take a look at our tournament summary, and you see in the middle, Iowa to the Elite 8. The Big Ten is having a monster NCAA tournament. In this game, Elliot Cadeau just picked up his second foul. You can see he's not happy about it. And that puts the eyesight on LJ Kaysen, who is still out, is out for the rest of the year and all of next year with a torn right ACL. He's been a great mentor and coach since tearing that ACL at Illinois in late February, but this is a spot where they would definitely rely on him, and they can't.
And he was terrific this year, so now Lindeborg is probably, Axel Lindeborg's going to be their point guard right now.
Michigan is shooting 54%, but they trail by 1 in the final 4 minutes. Shot clock at 6. Philon trying to get some separation. Step back's rejected by Johnson, and that one at the buzzer does hit the rim, but a rebound to McKinney.
That was really good half-court defense by the Wolverines.
That 3 gets the bounce for Roddy Gale, and Michigan takes the lead.
You know, when they score, they make Alabama set up, and that's really helps them tremendously. They can play their half-court defense, which is very, very good.
And here's that pro-Michigan crowd. Right Sells able to quiet them. Another triple.
It's almost like you shouldn't help. If you get half beat off the dribble, you shouldn't leave your man. Let him try to drive it. Make it 2.
McKinney step back 3. It's good.
It's good.
11 points for McKinney. Quickly the other way. Jemison 3. No. And Lendeborg flies in for the rebound.
That wasn't great transition defense there. Jemison was pretty much wide open.
Gale from the outside. It's good.
Now Michigan's starting to get into the paint, drive, and kicks for open threes.
A 13-3 run for the Wolverines. Philon, step back 3. Sherrell, the offensive board, ripped away by Gale, who saved it. Right to Johnson, and now McKinney up ahead. With Allen back, McKinney is fouled, and the momentum has shifted on the scoreboard and in the United Center. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Get all the scores and highlights, plus the latest NCAA tournament news. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
Well, whereas Alabama had the advantage early in scoring the paint, they've only have 2 points in the paint in the last 10 minutes, and now they're down 14 to 8 points in the paint. You can see it. Right now, they're just shooting threes, and that's it.
Alabama 1 for its last 6 from deep. And the foul was on Amari Allen, and that's his second. So Amari Allen is on the Alabama bench with 1:58 to go.
And obviously, Trey McKinney's been a big-time difference maker in this game.
McKinney and Lendeborg have 24 of Michigan's 47 points.
And here comes some pressure. Now's Alabama's chance to just go. When people press you, you're going to get open threes like that.
Millett. And Gale goes to get the rebound. Roddy Gale has provided some big minutes here in the first half for Michigan. Burnett left open. Philon, defended by Lendeborg. Oh, he goes right through him. What a move by Philon, but he couldn't finish. Tremendous move by LeBaron Philon to get to the basket.
This kid can really go off the dribble, no doubt. And he almost was able to put that in with his left.
And the foul is on Lendeborg, and that is his second. Sending Philon to the line for 2.
Well, Lendeborg obviously is coming out now.
Will Cheddar will take his spot as both Cadeau and Lendeborg have 2 apiece. 12 points for Lendeborg here in the first half. He's 4 of 4 from the floor. But the Michigan bench outscoring the Alabama bench 20-3.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Trey McKinney had a lot to do with that. Roddy Gale, too.
Here is Gale. Reverse, not there. Right to Johnson. He missed the bunny. Tipped out to Philon. Good look there. Michigan couldn't convert, and a foul on the other end. Philon's going to go right back to the free throw line.
Philon is in constant attack mode. I mean, he doesn't really care who's back, who's anything.
Philon's trying to say the basket should have counted, but it's just 2 shots for LeBaron Philon. $13 points for Philon to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists.
Michigan turned this game around at the 3-point line.
Yeah, Michigan with 8 threes. Alabama has 9 here in the first half. Sherrell returns. Jemison heads out with 1:02 on the clock.
Both teams have their timeout left. I know we talked to Dusty May yesterday. He likes going 2 for 1.
Johnson in the lane. And again, he misses in tight. That's 2 pretty good looks that Merez Johnson could not cash in on.
If Alabama shoots it quick.
Nate Oates is saying, go, shoot, we want it 2 for 1. Philon now going, and he lays it in to tie it at 47.
Too late for the 2 for 1, though.
And Nate Oates calls timeout. A 1-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Let's take a look at the Built Better moment presented by Body Armor. Michigan getting the 3-ball going to get back in it.
And how about getting 5 of them off the bench? Between McKinney and Gale, 5 threes coming off the bench. That has been huge in this game to get them back in. But this Alabama team, they keep coming at you, and they're coming at you and won't stop.
Alabama on a 6-0 run, and all 6 points scored by that man, LeBaron Philon. Cadeau comes back in for the final possession with the 2 fouls, and during that timeout, he was still pleading his case with the official about his second foul call. Still unhappy. Morrow, turnaround.
I'm shocked that he shot that.
Shot it with 16 seconds
Look at
left.
Dusty May. Dusty May was covering his face. Like, what are you doing? They must have just talked about that.
And then Gale commits the foul, which will send Alabama to the free throw line.
Now, that's a coach's nightmare, okay? You're supposed to be holding for the last shot of the half. No doubt about it. Mara shoots. You see Dusty May hold his head like, what? And then they foul.
And Dusty May is now telling Cadeau, what are we doing? And Cadeau will come out with the 2 fouls just in case there's a rebound. He doesn't want to get caught for his 3rd.
Yeah, or a charge or something like that.
Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. It's a personal 7-0 run for Philon, and he's got a chance to add 1 more. And 1 more substitution for Dusty May as Johnson comes out and Cheddar is back on the floor. Philon with 18 points here in the first half.
5 rebounds and 3 assists, too.
Makes them both. 6 seconds to go.
Now you got to go, guys.
McKinney across midcourt. McKinney just throws up a wild shot, well short. And Alabama goes into the locker room up by 2.
Dusty May not going to be happy with this half. I can tell you that.
Right to Mara. It's still that last possession. Doesn't understand why Mara shot the ball with 16 on the shot clock. As we send it over to Evan Washburn.
LeBaron, they had grabbed control of this game, and you went on a personal 8-0 run. What was the approach?
Like you said, it's personal. I mean, I don't want it to be my last game. You know, those guys, you know, they came out ready, we came out ready. They lace up their shoes, we lace up our shoes. So it's going to be an interesting second half. I'm pretty sure a lot more people are going to be watching this game.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to catch my breath just watching. What's going to be required to finish this out in the second half of the win?
The 50-50 balls, I feel like, you know, we let a little more balls get around that we should have got, and, you know, took it for fast break points, but rebounding, staying locked in, that's really.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Evan Bama closes the half on an 8-0 run, and the 8 points coming without making a 3, which seems hard to believe. Coming up, AT&T at the half. It's right after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Back in Chicago, we take a look at the Buffalo Wild Wings first half stats. Neither team committed a turnover over the last 8 minutes and 43 seconds. Pretty remarkable considering the pace of this game. And back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. We'll hear from Evan Washburn in a moment. Talk to me about pace. Can this continue?
You know, I know Alabama's going to want it to continue. I think Michigan needs to slow this pace down a little bit so they can start doing what they normally do, which is punish you in the paint as well as shoot the three-point shot. But Alabama only 3 turnovers, as you said. To play at that pace and have only 3 turnovers and a half, that's really hard to do.
Lendeborg had 12 points in the first half. LeBaron Philon led all scorers with 19.
And Andrew, how about this? Michigan had 94 points in the paint in their first 2 NCAA games. They have only 14 tonight with a sizable advantage inside. They have to slow it down and start to work it in that lane a little bit.
Let's check in with Evan.
Guys, talking to Dusty May at half, the word that he started with was composure. He pointed to composure when finishing at the rim. By his math, they were 4 of 12 at the rim. He said defensively we have to fan out better to shooters. Asked him about Philon specifically. He said we have to try and make him play more inefficient, way too efficient in that first half.
And Lendeborg guarding Philon here.
Yeah, I mean, they had to do something. Well, they switched again. Now Morris Johnson is on him, so they're trying the switches again. They tried both things in the first half, switching and not switching.
Allen misses the 3, and here comes Burnett the other way. Elliot Cadeau played through the 2 fouls in the first half.
They are not guarding Mara, as you can see there. That's why you got to come off that screen like Lendeborg did.
He missed it. Breitzel tried to call a timeout. He was out of bounds. It's Michigan ball.
You could take it all the way, but Sherrill is a very good shot blocker too, or you could pull up from 8 feet and just take the little 8-footer, which Lendeborg had. Sherrill came and contested. He's also a very good shot blocker.
Lendeborg has not missed a shot yet today. What a move. And he bangs another. That's why he's the Big Ten Player of the Year.
And a first-team All-American, one of the best players in the country this year.
The 9th lead change of the night. Jamison. And he turns it over, tried to throw it off Johnson as he was going out, but it didn't work.
But let's see what just happened. Michigan's defense, first of all, this is a great move here. Goes through the legs. Breitzel falls down. But what happened on that possession, Alabama had 9 seconds to go on that shot clock, and they hadn't taken a shot yet. That's good defense by Michigan. Slow this thing down.
Axel's parents pumped. He's got the ball again here. Trying to go to the basket. That's his first miss of the night, but an offensive rebound. Leads to a Cadeau 3. Lendeborg cleans it up.
You know, Nate Oates talked a lot to us about the rebounding battle. They only got rebounded by 1 in the first half, which is a miracle, really, against Michigan. They got to make sure they stay on the glass. Can't go under that screen.
Into the corner, a rejection for Cadeau. And for Michigan, that's their 6th block of the night.
I know it's early. Alabama not moving with that same speed that they move with in the first half.
Michigan with a school record 223 blocks this year. Sherrill trying to get to the basket, and he lays it in.
Wow, he just went on Cadeau that time.
Sherrill in double figures with 10. Lendeborg looking for Mara.
He's got to shoot that. He should have shot that one.
Lendeborg through traffic, sends it out. Burnett, catch and shoot 3 is short. And the rebound out of bounds to Michigan.
I think Lendeborg is passing up as good as he's playing, because he's playing tremendous. All the more reason for him to shoot that ball on a drop coverage.
Nate Oates is screaming at his team to grab a rebound. They've had a couple slip through their fingertips here early in the second half, but Cadeau cannot knock it down. Another offensive chance out to Lindeborg, and his three is no good.
Yeah, I mean, you see Michigan is really starting to come to the glass much harder than they did in the first half. And you can see how much more physical Michigan is in terms of body size than Alabama.
In this half, 6-2 Michigan on the glass. As Gale is back in from Mara.
You know, and they're going with that small team. I think this is going to be a hard game for Mara. It just is. Nothing to do with him. He's a heck of a player.
Another rejection, this time by Gale.
That's right, so twice.
Same spot.
Same spot.
Alabama has now gone 6 minutes without a three.
McGale is a lot bigger than Wright, so he's 6'5", and he made it over there quick.
Allen, oh, bad pass. He threw it right to Lindeborg. Up ahead of the pack, Burnett. And Burnett with the flush.
That's a good timeout.
Alabama with a timeout. Alabama was clean in the first half. A couple of early turnovers here in the second. Cubs dropped their opener yesterday, and they were off today. How about Lindeborg, Lap?
Yeah, he's been terrific. 6 out of 9 from the field, 3 to 4, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. He's got 5 rebounds, 4 assists. You're seeing why he's the Big Ten Player of the Year. He does everything. He makes threes. He can handle it. Just a really, really good player.
Let's check in with Evan.
Well, guys, Nate Oates took that timeout, and he was hot. He really challenged his guys. He said, we're the better team when we play harder, but pleading with them to wake up. And, Lap, you were all over it. Just the energy out of the gate, but also the rebounding. They had it as 3 stops they would have had they got the rebounds. When they had their hands on it, the coaching point was you got to come down with it.
And that's a great point, Evan, and this is what Nate Oates talked to us about, was we just got to be in the vicinity when it comes to the rebound numbers. And they were in the first half, but it's getting away from them now.
Sherrell defended by Johnson. Bylon is fouled. That'll go on Roddy Gale. You can cheer on your favorite NCAA team with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to shopncaasports.com. And that is number 3 on Roddy Gale, and he will stay out there for Michigan.
I mean, why not bring McKinney into the game?
Well, he just hopped off the bench. He's at the scorer's table.
I mean, McKinney's been so good.
Right side trying to squeeze a pass in there. Another Alabama turnover.
See, now the problem is the Alabama game is slowed down. Now they're playing half court.
Lindeborg leaves it. Counted and one. Gale with a chance at 3.
Great job by Lindeborg. Another assist for him, and a great finish by Gale before he's going to take a seat with those 3 fouls. But you take a look now at halftime. Michigan had only 14 points in the paint. In the first 3.5 minutes, they've got 6 already.
And the turnovers, a problem for Alabama now. They had 3 the entire first half. They already have 3 so far here in the second. And Michigan has turned those turnovers into 7 points here in the second half.
Yeah, if Michigan can run when they have it and play half court when they don't, it's going to be hard for Alabama in this game.
Gale stays out there with the 3 fouls.
I mean, Alabama's running a lot of offense and a lot of time.
Shot clock at 5. Phylon looking for help. Millette from the wing won't go. Lindeborg had it, lost it, and saves it to McKinney.
Every time Alabama shoots a shot at 5 on the shot clock, it's a win for Michigan. drop coverage, he's wide open.
Lindeborg a three. It's good!
Yeah, you can't keep dropping on him. Dusty May has Lindeborg coming off the pick and roll all the time, and then they're dropping, and he's doing whatever he wants.
Philon answers on the other end.
They needed that badly.
Lindeborg has 20. Philon has 22. That was Alabama's first made three-pointer in 8 minutes.
Wright's a little more aggressive that time and not letting Lindeborg get anywhere he wants off that screen.
Lindeborg inside, and he rattles another one in.
Tough guy to guard. You're that big, you're that strong, you can handle the ball, you can shoot threes, you can pass. That's called a really good player.
Bo Bowen open in the corner, and he hits a three. So Alabama starting to pick it up from the outside. It's a 5-point game.
How many games we've seen Alabama this year? They'll go 1 for 8 and all of a sudden make 4 out of 5, and they'll get back in the game. That's what they do.
11 threes tonight for Alabama. They average just under 13 per game. Here's a three for Gale. Roddy Gale has come to play.
Gale and McKinney have been unbelievable off the bench.
Gale with 14 points. 26 off the bench for the Wolverines. Millette, his shot is blocked. That was Gale who got a piece of it, and he's running the break, and Wrightsell is able to track it down.
That's 3 blocked jump shots this half.
Philon in trouble, and Cadeau goes to the ground to take it away. Alabama gives it right back. McKinney through the lane, reverse lay-in.
It's like a linebacker driving through to the basket.
Largest lead of the night from Michigan. Bo Bowen, another three. Millette with the offensive rebound. Out to Wrightsell for three. Way off the mark, and Lindeborg an easy rebound. Meanwhile, over on CBS, Duke and St. John's coming right down to the wire.
And Millette had an easy one there, and I don't know why he passed it out.
Cadeau for three.
I know Nate Oates is waiting, but I think he needs another timeout here.
Wrightsell hits a big shot for Alabama. This crowd going wild. So many Michigan fans in Chicago. The Wrightsell three cuts it down to 10. Alabama 3 for its last 6 from deep. And a whistle away from the ball and a foul against Alabama. But Michigan is starting to feel it.
Michigan heating up everywhere. From the three-point line, defensively, you name it, they're up 10. Lindeborg, what a player.
All right, Lap, let's revisit some of your big storylines here pregame.
Well, get rebounds was big. Now they're -7. They were almost even at halftime. They were down 1. Run, run, run. Only 2 fast break points, though they did dictate the speed of the game in the first half. Defend the three-point line. Michigan, Alabama 12 for 33. Starting to miss them more now. Pound the paint. All of a sudden, 24 points in the paint. 10 in the second half so far.
Our winning looks presented by Great Clips, and what a run it's been for the Wolverines, and they're dominating inside as well in this half. Rebounds 9 to 3, points in the paint 10 to 2.
What we're seeing is what Michigan has been all year, a team that does everything. They don't want to just run, but they can run. They don't want to just play half court, but they can play half court. That's their strength as a team, is that they do it all. And that's why this team is a real national championship contender. And I know this game is far from over. This team has been dominant all year until that last game against Purdue when they lost the Big Ten tournament. They were the #1 overall seed.
Officials did go to the monitor during that timeout to see if They should have changed it on Bol Bowen. It stays a common foul on Bol Bowen, and we're back. A Michigan 10-point lead. Johnson, been quiet tonight. Turnaround off glass, again comes up a little bit off the mark, and then he commits the foul going the other way.
He's missed 3 or 4 layups in this game, point blank.
He's 2 for 7 for 4 points. Media timeout, Michigan by 10.
I was hoping to get recruited by Alabama, and when I didn't, it kind of hurt me a little bit.
Nate and I, being friends, we talked through that process, and don't tell Yaks, but they did try to recruit him.
Game of telephone strikes again, and Yaxel admitted that there might be a little extra motivation due to the fact that he personally didn't hear from Nate Oates in Alabama in the recruiting process coming out of nearby UAB guys. But the reality is this is part of that dynamic, that relationship with Dusty May and Nate Oates. It was clear that Yaxel was headed to Michigan, so that impacted how aggressively they went after the star. But man, they'd love to have this production right now because he's playing like a guy who could play in this Bama offense.
Evan, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. McKinney for 3. It's not there. And tipped out to the perimeter. Cadeau is fouled.
I think the craziest thing, Andrew, is this kid started playing basketball when he was 15. I mean, that is incredible to be this good that fast.
Started at a JUCO, Arizona Western, last 2 years at UAB for Andy Kennedy, and now Michigan is so grateful to have Yaxel Lendeborg on their side. If you're just joining us after watching Duke beat St. John's, crazy game here, 9 lead changes. Alabama was up by as many as 9 in the first half. Michigan had it up to 13 here in the second half, and right now a 10-point Wolverines advantage.
And by the way, I'm telling you, it's impossible that Nate Oates didn't want to recruit that kid. He was at Alabama, he was at UAB. I don't know what worked out, whatever, but it's impossible that he didn't want it. He knew of that kid. Everybody
did. Number 1 in the portal, Dusty May, brings him here to Ann Arbor. Phylon, 19 in the first, quiet so far in the second. Steps into a 3 here, and still can't get it going like he had it in the first half, and it's out of bounds to Michigan.
And here's the thing, the game has become much more settled down. This is a Michigan team now that is using its power and its finesse in transition. The combination is there, and that's what makes them so good.
Nate Oates told us yesterday we can't win a football game with Michigan. And in the first half, they had it going up and down. It was not a power game. Michigan has slowed it down a little bit. It's more like a football game now for the Wolverines.
And I think, Dusty May talked about that with his team at halftime, about us controlling the game.
Johnson rejected by Sherrill. Good defense there by Alabama.
This is the worst I've seen Morris Johnson play, I got to tell you.
Extra pass, Millette wide open for 3. Missed it. And then a foul inside, and it's going to go on Alabama. Alabama has only 3 points in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's clearly a foul.
Amari Allen charged with his 3rd.
Alabama a little bit frustrated now.
Michigan is shooting 50% from the floor.
They shoot 51 as a team for the year, so they're a little down. One of the best offensive teams in the country.
Cadeau comes up short, and Sherrill will bring it up the floor. Sherrill sends it out to the corner.
And you know what else, Andrew? They're not getting beat off the dribble in the second half, and that way they don't have to help and let people get those drive and kick threes. They're doing a much better job on the ball, like right there.
Sherrill for 3. And Lendeborg goes up to get the rebound.
Again, the shot clock was winding down.
Cadeau lob, Mora the flush. The 6th assist for Elliot Cadeau. He now has 211 on the year. Alabama's ice cold, 1 for their last 8. Make it 1 for 9. Lendeborg sees numbers up ahead. McKinney missed it, but he's fouled. And Alabama's offense has run dry.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to throw this up in the air. Pretty easy target. I could probably throw it to a Day Mara.
Let's not get crazy here, all right?
Come on.
I don't know about that. I'm not giving you that.
You're not even giving me that to a guy 7'3" with long arms?
No.
All right.
In this second half, Michigan has outscored Alabama 26-11.
I mean, I like the adjustment that Dusty May made at halftime with his team to get them to play their game, not worry about when it was time to play half court, not worry when it was time to run. Really good job at halftime getting these guys ready. And, you know, Alabama, they're a one-speed team. If they can't play at that speed, it becomes hard for them.
Sherrell has some blood, so he has to come out, get that taken care of as McKinney knocks in the first free throw.
They really do need Sherrell back in there as quick as they can because he's the only real size they have. And how about as good as Phylon was in that first half? He's only 1 for 2. He's taken 2 shots in the second half. Give the Michigan defense credit.
The freshman McKinney has 16 points. His career high is 21 earlier this year against Oakland.
The bench has been terrific. What a closeout by McKinney that time.
Wrightsell, and it goes with the foul. Latrell Wrightsell, a chance at a three-point play.
From the ground, he gets up, finishes with that little floater. And Nate Oates knows he's got a team that can be explosive. And if this game starts to get hectic again, they can all of a sudden make 4 threes in a row.
First time in school history, Alabama has gone to 4 straight Sweet 16s. Wrightsell misses the free throw. 75-62. Lendeborg races up ahead. Williamson trying to guard Mara. Here comes the double. Mara tied up. And Mara turns it over.
Looked like they were fouling him there to me. I don't know.
Phylon fakes the 3, drives in, draws the foul. Stopping the clock with 8:41 to go.
Yeah, that's a foul.
Goes on McKinney. We were watching.
Mara's complaining to the ref. He said, look at the red marks on my arm.
Watching Alabama practice yesterday, and LeBaron Phylon very talkative with his team. Almost like an assistant coach on the floor, and watching the second team, he was doing the same thing. And we asked Nate Oates about it, and he said, yeah, he likes to talk both to our team and to the other team sometimes. You have to keep an eye on that. Third in the SEC this year, scoring 21 points a game. And he's got 24 tonight. 8 of 8 from the line for Phylon.
Well, here's where Alabama's got to make a stand, and they got to rebound. They're getting out rebounded now. It was 1 at halftime. It's 10 now.
Lendeborg was looking for Mara, and Mara was fouled trying to get to the basket.
They've been really physical on Mara, I have to say.
Noah Williamson is called for his second foul, and Mara now up on his feet.
Yeah, you're going to see here, wow, that was one shot. He took a couple of good ones. Williamson gives him one there. And he gets one from the back from Bowen.
That's the 6th foul this half on the Crimson Tide. So the next one sends Michigan to the line. Wide open for 3. Comes up short. Williamson the rebound. Alabama trying to get back to that pace they created earlier in the first half.
But, you know, you got to give Michigan credit, too, about their transition defense. They were back waiting for them that time.
Williamson going at Mara now. Nearly turns it over. And a timeout with exactly 8 minutes to go. Alabama trying to crawl back, but Michigan has turned the tide here in the second half. We're back. A look at our game summary. Michigan outscoring Alabama 28-15 this half. And for the game, the Crimson Tide shooting 36%. That Michigan defense has turned it up.
Yeah, they turned it up in the second half big time, as you saw there. 5 for 17 in the second half. They're doing a much better job of containing the dribble and not helping too much. The key to playing a good three-point shooting team is not to get beat off the dribble, and when you help, don't help too much. Help only when it's necessary and stay closed on shooters.
How about Lendeborg? 22 points, 11 boards, 6 assists. It's his first 20-10-5 game this season.
He's a triple-double waiting to happen for sure.
Shot clock at 3. Philon's 3 is good. 27 for LeBaron Philon. It's a 7-0 run for Alabama.
8 points for these guys down. It's not a lot. Michigan's got to execute here in the half court.
Lendeborg, no. Mara the follow.
Wow. I like it better when he's down low than when he's at the foul line. Get down low. At least you could do that when they miss.
Philon out to right cell. Catch and shoot 3. Not there, and the rebound McKinney. 7 minutes to go. Winner will play Tennessee or Iowa State in Sunday's Elite Eight here in Chicago.
Lendeborg should attack that drop coverage and just shoot that ball from 12 feet.
Inside to Gale. Gale comes up short, out of bounds to Michigan.
Let's go back to that offensive rebound by Mara. You're going to see Sherrill here. He's kind of just standing there, and now he goes to help a little bit. He leaves, kind of gets a hand up, but doesn't really do anything. And Mara just comes in there all by himself.
Alabama thought about challenging that last out-of-bounds call. Instead, Nate Oates says play on. Michigan ball, 6.5 to go. McKinney is fouled. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, in that last Alabama huddle, the staff reminding the players the way they play, they can get back into a game quick, and not to make it too overwhelming, saying, hey, let's just get to the under 4 timeout and have this game within 6. We don't have to get it all back at once.
I mean, that's a great way to look at it, especially when you have the explosive offense that they have, and have a guy like Philon, who all of a sudden can start lighting it up.
Foul is on right cell. That's his second. Rebounds have been a big problem this half for Nate Oates and the Tide. They're getting out rebounded 18-7.
Huge. And like he told us yesterday, I know we're probably going to get out rebounded, but we want to be in the vicinity. They're not in the vicinity right now.
$17 for Trey McKinney.
I mean, there's a tremendous difference in size between these two teams.
Philon using the screen. Tried to get up a 3, but Gale with quick feet.
Good defense by Gale.
Sherrill from the outside. And Cadeau is fouled going for the rebound. It's Michigan ball. And it actually would be a 1-and-1 for the Wolverines.
That was really good defense by Roddy Gale to start that out. And then, yes, obviously puts 2 hands on him.
And that's the 4th on Amari Allen, who's got just 4 points here tonight. Michigan as a team, 8 of 11 from the free throw line. 1 and 1 for Cadeau.
Cadeau met Philon way out past the three-point line there.
Ball Bowen from the outside. And Sherrill had it, lost it, out of bounds. Ooh, Michigan ball as Millette went crashing into the photographers underneath the basket. Houston Millette, the transfer from Pepperdine. And Will Cheddar back on the floor for the Wolverines, who are looking for their 34th win of the year. That would be a new school record.
And you know what, Andrew? When you look at Gale, Burnett, and McKinney, all very strong, stocky guards, they're also very physical guys.
Johnson trying to go around Ball Bowen, and he draws the foul. Lendeborg, such a great personality. Michigan put out a video of him dancing before the Wolverines took the practice floor yesterday here at the United Center. He has just lit up this program, team, and university in so many different ways here this year, the transfer from UAB.
You know, you let these guys hang around, which is what Michigan is doing. Missing some free throws, Cadeau, now Morris Johnson.
Johnson's school last year advancing to the Elite Eight last night. What a win for Illinois in Houston over Houston. And now we're at least guaranteed one Big Ten team in the Final Four, with Iowa and Illinois battling tomorrow in Houston.
I mean, it's amazing to think that the Big Ten hasn't had a national championship since 2000. That is incredible. How many NCAA bids have they had in the last 25 years? A lot. I think this year, though, they've got a chance. How about Alabama? 4 fouls in the last 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Maybe running out of gas a little bit. Could be.
One more free throw for Johnson.
The defense on Philon this half has been tremendous.
5.5 to go.
They are fighting over every screen with Philon.
Philon out to Sherrill for 3. And the long rebound is grabbed by Johnson. And Dusty May is saying, let's slow down. Let's play the last 5 minutes at our pace.
You know, one of the reasons why Tom Izzo's been so good at Michigan State in the tournament is because his teams are also always very good at running and playing half court. That versatility really helps in the tournament.
Cadeau knocks it in. 81-67 in favor of Michigan, and Alabama has won for its last 8 from beyond the arc. Philon trying to change that. He does with a 3.
I mean, and he shot it over Morrow, who was out on him.
30 points for LeBaron Philon. His career high came earlier this year against Arkansas when he had 35. Just not a lot of weaknesses on this Michigan team.
No, definitely not. Both ways, offense and defense.
Cadeau, a 3!
You know, this kid, his first 2 years in North Carolina, I watched him a lot. I thought he was a non-shooter. This year, he shoots 36%. He doubled the amount of threes he made last year, 58 this year. Really improved shooter.
He shot 18% from deep as a freshman at North Carolina. He has completely changed the narrative with Michigan. And Alabama running out of time. Jemison. And they're going to count the basket.
That's a good call.
Morris saying
He wants
thought
to
he
look at
wanted
him.
to challenge. I think he's saying my bad, though. It's all good for Michigan right now. Up by 12. Coming up next here in Chicago, approximately a 10:30 Eastern tip between Tennessee and Iowa State. Should be a good one on tap, and Joshua Jefferson will not play for the Cyclones. Time now to take a look at the Capital One rewarding performance.
Yeah, well, no doubt, Yaxel Lendenborg showing why he's player of the year, but the way these guys shot the ball in the second half, the way they made it a half-court game when they needed to, run in transition when they needed to.
How about Cadeau telling Reitzel it's over? It's over. Cadeau, as Dusty May told us, is very competitive, sometimes to a fault.
I would not have liked, if I was his coach and I knew he said that, I wouldn't like that. I can tell you that. Because it's not over. Obviously, it's looking good for Michigan, but it's not over.
Over the last 9 minutes, LeBaron Philon is the only Alabama player to make a three. He's made 2 in that span, but they have really cooled off after that hot start that gave them an early 9-point lead. Johnson with the jam.
That was what you would call token pressure at best. That was pretty easy for Michigan.
Philon, another 3. And the long rebound right back out to Philon. Philon dribbles in, separation, and lays it in. He's got 32. Pressure now from the Crimson Tide. Lendenborg to Cadeau, and he tracks it down. Good hustle there by Elliot Cadeau.
They just want to hold it out now.
Wide open is Gale. And the rebound to Bowen to the ground. Couldn't secure it. Now Millett fighting for it. And a tie-up. The possession arrow will give the ball to Michigan. Well, in this competition, the clock doesn't stop as 24 chefs go head-to-head in a culinary matchup. Watch the season premiere of 24 in 24, Last Chef Standing. Sunday, April 26th at 8 p.m. on Food Network. Alabama's lowest scoring second half this year is 34 points. Tonight they have 25 with 2.5 to go.
When you look at Michigan, Andrew, one of the reasons why it's a great team, they shoot 51 field goal percentage, 39 from 3, 12 between it. That's the biggest in the country.
Timeout, Michigan. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. And 2:22 on the clock. Well, 3 teams have reached the Sweet 16 each of the last 4 years. Houston, they lost last night. Alabama in trouble here against Michigan. And then Tennessee is the 3rd, and we'll see them next on TBS when they take on Iowa State.
Shot clock.
Down to 2. Cadeau, rainbow, and he's fouled. And appears to be in some discomfort as he hit the ground.
Yeah, he went down hard.
Another look as Jemison came over with the hard contact. And Cadeau is now walking it off. So Elliot Cadeau is in double figures in all 3 Big Ten tournament games here in the United Center. And he's got 16 points tonight to go along with 6 assists and 5 rebounds.
Normally a decently reliable free throw shooter. 72% for a point guard. Okay, but not tonight.
Approaching 2 minutes to go.
Defense, second half, physical.
Bo Bowen in trouble, double teamed, gets rid of it. Shot clock down to 8.
Oh, good help.
Right cell, corner 3, not there. Morez Johnson had it, lost it, but a foul is called.
How many times in the second half, Andrew, have we seen Alabama shoot with 5 seconds to go on the shot clock? Completely different than the first half.
And the Michigan fans rise. Dusty May said last year in the Sweet 16, they lost to Auburn in Atlanta. And Dusty said he had never really thought about a home court advantage in the NCAA tournament until last year. He thought Auburn had a big advantage playing in Atlanta. And he went into this offseason thinking about this site, Chicago. We know with 25,000 Michigan grads living in the Chicago area that we would fill it up. And that's been a goal for Michigan all year, to get to play the regional here in Chicago.
3.5 hours from campus. Absolutely. This team can really score. Arizona can really. How about Arizona? Had 109 points in that game. They only made 5 threes. How hard is it to score 109 and only make 5 threes? Morris Johnson's the only. He had a rough night tonight.
Johnson has 7 points. Mara with 8. But you kind of said it throughout the game. Not a big Mara game tonight.
No. And he's had a lot of great games this year. Now Johnson misses 2.
Michigan this half 7 of 14 from the free throw line. Again, Alabama just can't get off a quick shot.
No, the defense has been complete 360.
Less than 90 seconds to go, and the shot clock is at 7. Allen with a deep 3. And Cadeau had it, lost it over to Johnson. And there is the foul. Chance of let's go blue. Lendeborg, a rare miss tonight.
I mean, this team normally 75% from the line.
One out of 2 for Lendeborg. He's got 23 points and 11 rebounds to go along with 7 assists. Right cell.
Great
air
defense.
Ball.
1 minute remaining.
Michigan ball with a minute to go.
They have contested shots unbelievably in the second half.
And they've done it without fouling, Lap. You see the second half fouls on the scoreboard for Michigan, only 4.
If you're not letting people get in the lane, you're not going to foul. And they really have done a great job containing the dribble, not over-helping, and so they have not been in rotations a lot in this second half.
Cal with the exclamation points. Counted in 1 at the other end for Alabama, and Philon.
Michigan on the attack here. Cadeau just makes it look easy.
22 assists for the Wolverines tonight.
And they're number 25 in the nation in terms of assisted baskets. Over 60% of their baskets this year are assisted. They pass the ball and have a lot of guys that can pass it.
This is why you talk about Michigan as a legit title threat. We've been talking about their defense, but they've got 90 points again. They averaged 87 a game this year.
And they averaged 51% field goal percentage, and that's what they were shooting in this game, 51%. And turned it over twice in the second half.
Johnson's three no good. Shot clock turned off. Philon has tied his career high with 35 tonight. Looking for a new career high. Not that time. Lindeborg the rebound, and that will do it. Michigan to the Elite Eight.